skiing cow by the name of Zuck. Yeah, a cow is skiing. A cow is skiing, and that cow's name is Zuckowski.
So what year are you at Loyola? I'm going to be a junior. Oh, nice. Are you from Chicagoland area? Kind of.
Where are you going to school?
Loyola.
Okay then. Oh, you're at Loyola. I'm at Loyola right now. Masters or bachelor's?
Chicago. Alright. So the numbers that are on their website, Austin, are the numbers they're using today, or do they have different numbers?
The only difference is Elena Zakowski is wearing 4, not 3 listed.
Okay.
Molly Kuiper is wearing 3 for them. But yeah, I can run that all through if you want to.
Alright, so we got Chloe Olson, number 1. We have Marissa Graziak at 2. We have Molly Kuiper at 3. We've got Elena Zakowski at 4. And then, okay, so no number after 4, right? Until we get to 10? Until we get to 11.
Until we get to 10. Catherine Coker.
Where's 10? Okay. Catherine Coker.
I assume it's Coker.
I'm not saying Cocker. I'm not.
Nope.
We're not going down that road.
Nope, I'm not doing it. Nope.
There was a guy we did a broadcast once. His last name was Wiener, and we only said Weiner. His mom said it was okay to say Wiener, so we finally went with it. But I'm pretty sure that middle school was a nightmare for him, possibly high school as well.
His first name wasn't Harry, was it?
God, oh God.
Like the politician.
There's a politician with the name Harry Wiener?
Yeah, you don't remember that scandal about him like sending those nude pics to women?
He was Anthony Weiner.
Anthony Weiner.
He's also at Dirty Balls. He was married
What?
Harry Balls.
Wow.
B-A-A.
Oh wow, it's spelled actually like balls. Thanks. That poor guy.
Remember that guy that used to play for Illinois? His last name was written Cockburn.
Oh, yeah. Excuse me, are you with Bavarian? Is it Catherine Cocker or Coker? Coker? Coker.
Why'd you even ask that?
Because it's her name and we're going to broadcast it.
Like,
And you want to be sure.
I know, but like,
Oliveira.
Wrong person! Alright.
like, yeah. I don't know if her parents would want us to say Cocker the entire game, but that's her last name. I Kennedy Burchell.
The next one is
We got Bellin. Is it Najera or Najera? And then Aspeth Bodie or Boadded?
yeah.
All right, did you enter the starting lineups and everything, Raphael? I can't hear anything that you just said.
What was the other one that we were saying?
Bodie, Boad, Boade,
It's Boyd. What was the other one?
Boyd,
Boyd.
Boade.
Boyd, and then we got one more.
Oh yeah, and then
And-
Bell and Najir.
Is it Najira?
And then X Carre, X Carrot. What do you know what it is, Raphael?
Well, the best way I think should be X-Carrot.
Okay.
X Carrot.
Yeah, 'cause it's kind of really X-Carrot.
It's X-Carrot.
And if she does poorly, I'll call her X Carrot until she starts doing well again.
She told us, like,
Well, you called me X Carrot. You didn't play well enough to be called X Carre. Sorry.
well, it is French. X-Carrot. Yeah, but she has Hispanic last name. It's like a mixture. No, X-Carrot is Spanish. Oh, right. But I'm saying like last name. It's more of a Hispanic thing. Well, yeah. She's Portuguese, isn't she? X-Carrot Banana?
But they speak, yeah.
She's Portuguese. So it is a weird blend between.
Well, make
French and Spanish.
I think it's a word somewhere.
Portuguese.
Try talking.
Illinois' top-ranked orthopedic and spine practice, Midwest Orthopedics at Rush, is now in Joliet. See a world-class specialist close to home. To be your best, see the best.
Is a broadcasting network for everyone. SBS offers live telecasts on channel 59.3, YouTube, or Twitch. We include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
You know, I started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little click at the beginning of the game, so I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search Sports Broadcast Solutions on YouTube. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary. A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it. Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the postgame show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith. Well, my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense, and Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and a goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape, but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics, and we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. We broadcast sporting events for people of all ages, including adult leagues, high school leagues, and kids. Complete with professional-looking graphics, broadcasters, color analysis, and commercials. We do pre- and post-game interviews with the players. In addition, Sports Broadcast Solutions does highlight films, including college recruiting reels, highlight films you'd see on sports news programs, and just simply highlight films for fun. Sports Broadcast Solutions also provides raw footage and live streams if you'd like. Subscribe to us and listen to our professional talk videos about relevant topics in the pro and college ranks. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, contact us at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital world. This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world.
Illinois' top-ranked orthopedic and spine practice, Midwest Orthopedics at Rush, is now in Joliet. See a world-class specialist close to home. To be your best, see the best.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. SBS offers live telecasts on channel 59.3, YouTube, or Twitch. We include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
You know, I started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little click at the beginning of the game, so I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search Sports Broadcast Solutions on YouTube. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the post-game show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith, but my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swam 50 breast, 50 free and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. Other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense. And Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and a goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics, and we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. We broadcast sporting events for people of all ages, including adult leagues, high school leagues, and kids. Complete with professional-looking graphics, broadcasters, color analysis, and commercials. We do pre- and post-game interviews with the players. In addition, Sports Broadcast Solutions does highlight films, including college recruiting reels, highlight films you'd see on sports news programs, and just simply highlight films for fun. Sports Broadcast Solutions also provides raw footage and live streams if you'd like. Subscribe to us and listen to our professional talk videos about relevant topics in the pro and college ranks. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, contact us at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital world. This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world.
Your time is now. When passion runs through you, become your own hero.
Illinois' top-ranked orthopedic and spine practice, Midwest Orthopedics at Rush, is now in Joliet. See a world-class specialist close to home. To be your best, see the best.
City takes on against Bavarian United. Here's the starting 11 for Bavarian United. Goalie Olsen. In defense, number 10, Catherine Coker. Number 24, Carpi Olivero. Number 21, Gabby Schwartz. Number 9, Brooke Perillo. Then midfield, beginning with number 4, Elena Zukosi. Number 11, Haley Block. And number 20, Alex Campana. Then number 12, Abigail Stewart. And 2 forwards, beginning with number 22, Katie Olsen. And number 23, Haley Johnson. And now the starting 11 for Chicago City. With goalkeeper number 41, Lauren Kaiser. Number 13, Ulexi Diaz. Number 22, Emma Phillips. Number 27, Ava Addison. Number 23, Fernanda Soto. Number 14, Molly Duchette. Number 15, Kennedy Burchell. Number 21, Brianna Rodriguez. Number 19, Megan Bodie. Number 28, X-Ray Pineda. And number 10, Sophia Jamie.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another production of SBS, a broadcasting. Everyone, thank you so much. Rafael Gonzalez on public address announcing duties tonight. I'm Kyle Smith alongside my friend and partner, Austin Wright, for another production of SBS. Tonight, Austin, it's Bavarian United against Chicago City SC. It's win or go home right now for Chicago. They had one. It seemed like it was going to be in the bag. They were playing an 0-7 Rochester team. They lost that match. Now they're playing a Bavarian team who they tied not too long ago.
Exactly so. It's going to be a battle of wills in this one, Kyle, as Chicago City attempts to avenge the late equalizing goal that Bavarian had against them in just their last meeting to end up getting that draw that they most desperately needed. And these two teams will be fighting for the second spot in the top of the table for the Heartland Division in the Central Conference, as Minnesota Aurora is the ones that have the current far and away lead, as they have been absolutely dominant throughout this entire season.
Chicago played them tough. It was 2-1, and then Minnesota scored a late goal in the first half, and that was the final score, 3-1. No team scored in the second half. Chicago actually outshot Minnesota by a large margin in the second session against Minnesota United, but they can't think about that tonight. There is no more silver linings. It's win or go home. They got to win today. If they don't win today, the season might be over for that wild card spot. If they win today, a draw would kind of help them, but they really need the win.
Absolutely. That second spot is absolutely critical for both of these teams, as Bavarian United is only just a few points behind Chicago City at the moment, with especially the number of games in hand they have. So this will be an absolutely critical matchup, and it's going to be interesting to see how Chicago City's 4-3-3 matches up against Bavarian United's 4-4-2 that they're trotting out for tonight's match here at Lions for Hope Sports Complex, which has always provided a lot of struggles for the opposing teams that come to this field, as it's a unique dimensions, not typical for soccer, playing on a rugby pitch.
We haven't seen teams score more than one goal. Minnesota scored 3, Springfield scored 2, and no other team comes to mind. I mean, even Des Moines, who had lost only one regular season game in their last 2 seasons, only scored 1 on this pitch. Rochester beat Chicago, but they only scored 1 goal to do so. So for Bavarian United SC, do you think they're worried about that at all, knowing that, hey, if we're going to beat Chicago, it might have to be a 1-0 win?
Well, exactly so. They would certainly have to go back and look at the film for that Rochester match and see what exactly that Rochester was able to do well against Chicago, whether it be working the edge play as they did throughout that entire match, getting that lone goal. So it's going to be interesting to see how Chicago's going to be able to respond in this one and try to maintain a lead, as they did jump out to have a 1-0 lead in the earlier matchup in this one. Bavarian tied just right after that to end the half, and then found a late goal in the 90th minute in their previous matchup, as we're now underway here at Lions for Hope Sports Complex.
So it's going to be played right now by Bavarian out to the touchline, and Bavarian the first team to touch the ball this evening. It's a 6 o'clock start. Bavarian tied Chicago earlier this season. And looking to get the win tonight on the road. Bavarian from the Milwaukee area, Chicago City SC. This is their home pitch. After it is Bavarian. Chicago's Abigail Roy was close to it. Left-footed boot past midfield. Bavarian gets past the midway line and picked up that time by 14. Now over to 15. Now 14 on it. As that kick goes wide off the crossbar and headed away. And kicked out. Apologize for that, folks. I thought we were in the white. We're usually in the white and blue. For the first time all season, we're in the black.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and that was a great shot attempt there by Meg Bodie for Chicago City SC, the number 14 in black here on that near side of your broadcast screen there. But it was a great attempt, not quite on target, but that rebounding opportunity that was going off Bavarian there from their header, that could have been a dangerous moment, as there were some other black shirts just right in that area that could have put that one in the back of the net just 2 minutes into this match.
Chicago with it at the 22. And stolen away by Bavarian. Bavarian in the white, Chicago in the black. Past midfield, played right now by Chicago's Brianna Rodriguez. Now over to midfield, played by Doucette. And tap kick over to their own territory. Chicago almost scored, went off the crossbar. It was a nice looking ball. As it was a big-time tie. If Chicago hadn't tied that and beaten Bavarian, they'd be in much better shape. But right now, they're having to deal with a potential losing streak if they lose tonight. They did lose to Rochester. In fact, they just don't want to play any more Minnesota teams. They do have to play. They have to play Minnesota Aurora one more time. But Chicago is winless against Minnesota teams in their last couple of matches. But everybody else, they're undefeated against. Right-footed boot on the touchline at the 40-meter line, and then tapped in by Chicago. Booted over from one side to the other. Played right now by Doucette. Out in front, Pineda the intended target. Tapped over in front again. Bavarian trying to steal. Pineda gets it off her foot, and she wasn't able to handle that pass, but keeping it is Chicago right now with Doucette. Doucette, stutter step move, goes inside with it. Wide open woman in front, left-footed boot, missed the net. Hamey had it, but couldn't get it on net that time, Austin.
Yeah, that's right. Jamie with a great opportunity there for another shot attempt for Chicago to put that on their stat sheet there. But Jamie, absolutely one of the players that everybody that's watching this broadcast tonight needs to be watching out for, as she is one of the league leaders in all of USLW, having 6 goals so far on the season. She's right up there with some of the best of them in this conference, or really this entire league, I should say, overall, as she has been a prolific scorer, having had a hat trick in one of these matches that we've broadcasted just a few weeks ago here at Lions for Hope Sports Complex.
Bavarian with it in their own territory. Campana with it to the sideline, and they clear. After it now is Chicago. Pattison wanted to go after it, but she couldn't get it. Then Phillips sends it back over to the goalkeeper. Starting today is Kaiser, and she's wearing 41. She usually wears 42, but she switched numbers today. Now to midfield, and last touch by Chicago. It'll be a throw-in. Taking it'll be Catherine Coker. Coker's throw-in. Off the head, back to Coker, little tap kick, and then tap back over to the midway line. Played right now by Block, sent back to the defense. Now on it is Schwartz, and then tap back over to midfield. Coker will play it, and a no-look kick. She sends it over to Block inside Chicago's territory. Played by Stoic over to the far touchline. Bavarian with a beautiful move, but she couldn't get the defense to guess to the outside. And now played right now by Bavarian. Shot blocked. Another try. Shot up in the air off the crossbar. Beautiful shot that time by Cabana. Chicago clears, and just like we thought this match was going to be, Austin, it's back and forth. One team goes off the crossbar, then Bavarian answers with a nice shot of their own.
They absolutely do, and you have to credit some of the wind coming through this windy city right now, as that was pushing left on the towards the far side of the pitch that you'll see on our screens. That's partially one of the reasons why Campana was not able to finish on that shot, but that was a very dangerous opportunity in the middle of the box there for Bavarian.
Out to midfield, played right now by Chicago. Between the 40 and the 50. Now on it right now is Doucette. Past midfield, played over to Bodie. Bodie calls for it and gets it on the two-woman game. And now inside the 22. Pineda. And it's back over to Burchell. Now to the touchline. And it's called by the ref. Offside committed by Chicago. First offside for either team's partner, and Bavarian would take the tie, but they need the win even more than Chicago as they're trailing Chicago in the standings right now.
They absolutely would, and really any sort of momentum that they can find early on in this match will help, because after that shot attempt by Campana, and as well with Jamie, there's clearly these opportunities lying in front of them very early on in this match, and you see the slow, methodical movements throughout the midfield with both teams, and we'll have to see which side can give away for this between their back lines and be able to get those shot attempts in the box.
Over to the touchline. It's played that time by Burchell. Burchell gets it back. Right-footed kick. Past the 22. Burchell gets it back again. Now to Pineda. Pineda double team. Bavarian with the steal. Now played right now by Oliviero. And now inside the 40-meter, played by Zakowski. Past midfield. After right now is Schwartz. At midfield now, played by Stoek. As a tap kick past the midway line. It's a pretty even game right now, Austin, in terms of time on attack, ball possession. It might be one of those matches in terms of who has the ball last.
Certainly so, and especially when you take into account players like Kennedy Burchell for Chicago City that's playing in the midfield for them. You really have to watch players like her as she's wearing the captain's armband for City. And especially whenever they have those opportunities to get in front in passing lanes, find those interceptions, and get their teams more chances, quality chances in front of the net, those will be some of those crossing passes that we'll have to see from players like her tonight to see if they can find more shot opportunities.
It's a throw-in right at midfield. That's still near the touchline. Now finally played by Bavarian. Good move to get past the midfielder. Chicago looking to steal. No score early on. Both teams have hit the crossbar. Chicago within the first minute, Austin. That was impressive. As Chicago going with new jerseys tonight. Seeing if that can give them a good luck charm.
Absolutely so. The jerseys being worn tonight by Chicago are some of their, you can't necessarily call them vintage, even though the club as a USLW and USL2 league has only been around for now their second season. They technically are vintage, though. These were worn in their inaugural season just last year, so a little bit of a throwback for tonight's last home match here for the women at Lions for Hope Sports Complex. And I have to say, though, partner, they do look pretty clean, having those nice red numbers on the back and clean all black in the front.
I just wasn't used to it. Was not informed you're wearing the black tonight. I assume we were wearing the blue, but they look good in the black jerseys. Chloe Olsen will play it. She's wearing the pink, and then the starting goalkeeper in Kaiser in the green. To the 22-meter. Left-footed boot. It's sent up to block. Now back to the D, and now sent to the touchline. Past the 40-meter. Slow-moving ball. A good two-woman game there. And then trying to, there might be a handball against Chicago, no call, we play on, played by Pineda. She thought about dropping it off that time to Pattison, but instead sent it back. Tap and go move. Tried to feed it on stride to Meg Bodie, but Bavarian saw it all the way. Now they have it. Past the midway line. Good job playing the body and not slide tackling. Both teams avoiding the fouls right now, partner.
Yeah, they absolutely are. And a clean playing game so far in this match is certainly something that we're going to have to be watching out for, as obviously with these tensions being high for the stakes that are going on for this match, we absolutely have to make sure that there is definitely a clean attitude throughout this whole match. But obviously it's still early. We saw just last night for the men's match how everything can get out of hand very quickly at the end of a match after the tensions run high from having goals scored against one another. So we'll have to see how that can factor in, if there will be any yellow cards potentially in this match for either side.
And we do have slow motion instant replay night, so we will show you those shots that went off the crossbar in slow-mo. And now going after right now is Pattison.
Back over to the goalkeeper and Kaiser. Chasing her down is Colister. Sorry, that's Johnson. And now over to the touchline. Near midfield. Good boot. And good job keeping that in that time by Bodie. Looking to get it on stride and does. Trying to do the turnaround move, but read well, reading the hips well that time by Oliviero. Inside pass on the left foot. Shot. Save that time by Olsen. Another try out in front. Looking for the turnaround kick. Shot. That goes wide. Back-to-back chances. Austin just couldn't get it past the keeper.
A flurry of chances there for Chicago City, causing chaos right there in the middle with Bodie and Jamie both getting those shot attempts there right in the middle. Just not quite enough room there for Jamie to get that quite on net, but certainly a great showing so far by Chicago City to put the pressure now back on Bavarian, who had that scary opportunity going off the crossbar near Kaiser.
Oh, crap. Out in front, that shot, and it's going to be called dead by the ref.
After that attempt there, the refs elect for another corner to go for Chicago coming up here. Now it'll be Kennedy Burchell to do the honors for the Lionesses there on the near side corner.
Corner kick for Chicago. Out in front, header, and a little bit too high on it. Going after it was Olsen and headed away by Chicago.
That's right, yet another good opportunity by Chicago. The header just a little bit too much oomph on it for Bodie, or excuse me, for Olsen there, right in the middle. But if you're a Chicago fan, you certainly have to be liking your shot opportunities that you've had thus far. But Bavarian right here really is wanting something, but a long crossing pass just has too much mustard on it. And now Chicago will have the throw-in opportunity just in front of their box on that same 40 or 20-meter line, excuse me.
Throw-in coming up for Chicago. And Bavarian looking to steal out to the touchline. Trying to feed it that time to Parnello. And now sent in deep. A shot, and it was blocked by Chicago. They clear. Now over to the 22.
And again, that one goes out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in again coming up for Chicago City. Meg Bodie was tussling with some of those Bavarian United players there on the near side. So Chicago, yet again, still finding ways to get in front of those passes and try and maintain as much possession as they can as Kennedy Burchell handles the ball there in the middle.
Over to the touchline, kicked away, tap kick, and it's going to be played now by Campana at the 40-meter. Lead pass, intended one that time by Johnson, and then fed over that time to the goalkeeper in Kaiser. Pass midfield. And now played by the goalkeeper in Olsen.
And a long, high-arching pass there for Bavarian. They're able to hold on to this one so far, but there's plenty of black shirts in the area as that one goes out of bounds over the fence on that far side. Another throw-in will be coming up for Bavarian. 15 minutes into this match. Still, partner, a pretty solid match by both sides thus far, trying to make as many shot attempts as they can. Clearly the pressure can be there, but it's certainly been a bit of a back-and-forth affair.
It sure has, and for Chicago, got to find ways to get one on the board. After that loss to Rochester, you got to find a way to get the win. Lead pass sent out in front, now played by the goalkeeper in Olsen. As you look at the stats, what a year that Bailey DeSmit is having. 15 goals on the year, 11 for Gianna Riley from the California Storm, and then a slew of players with 10. And then really there's not that many players that have been dominant in the Midwest, in the Heartland Conference. Minnesota Roar's Hannah Adler with 8, Maya Hansen with 7, and of course Sophia Hamey with 6. And then Catherine Rapp with 6 as well. That's why Minnesota's undefeated this season.
Absolutely. Their attack is one of the best in all of USLW, so they certainly are a force to be reckoned with so many talented players by them. But you'll see that throughout all of USLW, no matter what team that you're looking at, whether it be Chicago City or Bavarian United. Plenty of D1 athletes that are on the field, whether it be an Iowa Hawkeye and Ava Pattison for Chicago City, or you have a Northwestern player in Meg Bodie right up at the front for one of the forwards.
Still no score. We're going to give you stats in a second. Rafael Gonzalez on stat crew duties tonight. We have live digital stats. Past the 40-meter, tapped over to midfield, but a bad pass stolen away by Bavarian. And it was blocked on the pass attempt. Good job clogging the lanes by Chicago, but Bavarian keeps it. Played near the touchline, stops the ball. I'm going to try it again. And somehow keeping that ball in. It's deep in Chicago's territory, but they intercept it. Now played near midfield. Bavarian looking to get it back. Capri Oliviero on it. Pineda was close to it, and then stolen by Bavarian. It was off the foot of Stowack. Stowack has it again, tapped over to the 40-meter, and now played right now by Schwartz. Inside the 40-meter. Try to get it on stride, off the body. Kaiser has to get to the ball, swarms to it, and covers it up.
Lauren Kaiser, a great presence for Chicago City to have back there in the net. The 6-foot red shirt sophomore out of UIC, one of the Flames, hailing from South Walton High School in Santa Rosa Beach in Florida. She's really been a very solid presence for the Lionesses throughout this entire season. And you can see why she's been named an All-Missouri Valley Conference second-team player throughout her time as a Flame.
Sophia Hamey she has the second most shutouts and the second most minutes played for a goalkeeper in UIC history. So that's the reason why she's between the pipes, but Penske's good as well. But she's had a heck of a career for the UIC Flames.
Absolutely. So, and that goes with part of the scouting and as well as recruiting that goes into getting these players on teams like Chicago City to be able to find not only just local talent, but as well as some of those that have really built up all of those accolades for teams like UIC or Northwestern or even Iowa, whoever it may be, to be able to find them and keep them in the local area and represent for their city. As we have a player down here, the refs have stopped play for the moment. One of Chicago.
Hate to see it. It's not a hot day today, so cramping really won't be an issue, but it's going to be 23 for Chicago. That would be Fernanda Soto. 22 is actually hurt. That's Emma Phillips. As she looks to get back up and get back out there for Chicago. They're going to need her. It's a Chicago team that's hurting right now. We have not seen Braylon Viamil the last 3 or so games, and one of their best goal scorers, so they're going to have Hamey step it up, and other goal scorers as well. There's a timeout on the pitch. We'll take a timeout as well. You are watching SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Illinois' top-ranked orthopedic and spine practice, Midwest Orthopedics at Rush, is now in Joliet. See a world-class specialist close to home. To be your best, see the best.
Back to the action at Lions for Hope Sports Complex. Kyle Smith alongside Austin Wright. No score. Both teams have gone off the crossbar as Chicago City SC trying to get a big-time win in the Heartland Conference. Both teams played each other earlier in the year. They drew. Chicago went to Milwaukee for that match. Now they're in Chicago on their home pitch. They've only lost once this year between the men and the women. The women have been the only team that have lost at this pitch because the men are 7-0-0.
Absolutely, and they had another big win just last night, and not necessarily at their home pitch. They played at the Illinois Institute of Technology just last night, and certainly had a very interesting ending for their game against Peoria City, in which there was a controversial offsides call that, after further review, Kyle, it did seem to be that call was the right ones that the refs overturned after they initially said it was a good goal, and they considered it to be offsides after the fact. And looking at the replay, that did seem to be the right call after all. But either way, the refs did make their decision. So between both teams, still, either way, Chicago City has got talent on both the men's and women's team, and it is clearly evident whenever they are on the pitch.
Last night was interesting. What Peoria wasn't happy about is not that they called the offside, is that you waited so long to call it. If you're not going to go with your original call when the linesman's right there, that it took so long to overturn it when the linesman saw it all the way. That's what Peoria was mad about. But Chicago gets the win. They still would have been unbeaten anyway, so it would have been a 2-2 draw. But now they're fully unbeaten at 7-0-0. Headed away by Bavarian, but she was offside. She might have also pushed off. Either way, it's going to be Chicago ball. Goal kick coming up. We appreciate everybody watching. Chat line is open. Feel free to chat your favorite FIFA World Cup memory. Goal kick. Trying to get it on target. Goes to the other goalkeeper accidentally, and Chloe Olsen will take it. Out to midfield now, played by Stoek. Now past the midway line. It's played by Sikowski. Turnaround kick off the foot of Campana. And stolen away by Chicago. Chicago plays it out to the midway line. Turnaround kick, and that's over to Soto. Soto plays it, stolen away by Bavarian. Now on the foot of Parnello, and last touch by Chicago at the far touchline.
And so after we saw that injury from Emma Phillips earlier in that match for Chicago City, we saw that substitution coming on, and that would be number 11, Abigail Roy, who's the one that came onto the pitch to replace her after we saw that collision, and clearly she was in pain after that lower leg injury that occurred earlier. We hope she's okay and remaining all right throughout the rest of this summer soccer season.
Yeah, Viamil got injured. Haven't seen her in a while. Chicago is down some of their best players right now, and they can't afford to lose any more. Abigail Roy, we've seen her a lot. She's a very capable defender, plays the midfield as well. But Chicago really needs that win tonight, and we're going to see 100% effort going forward in the match, especially in the second half. If not 100%, it's going to be 150%. They're going all out for the win because they know even with the draw, their wild card chances go down exponentially.
Absolutely, partner, especially with considering that Chicago has 16 points on the table and Bavarian has 13. You have to wonder how much Bavarian is going to be putting on the pressure throughout this entire rest of this match, because they certainly have plenty of time left here, being only 24 minutes into this match so far. So we'll have to see how they'll be able to respond early on, as Chicago had a very early goal in their last match, as there's could be a chance with Bodie screaming down towards the middle of the box here, trying to make some fancy footwork.
Bavarian got in the way of it, though. Last touch by Coker, then to the goalkeeper and Olsen. Headed away that time by Campana. Now at midfield, Campana has it. A one-on-one. Chicago got it back, though, on the right foot. Now to the left, little chip kick. Right on target to Pineda. Here comes Chicago. It's going to be a pseudo corner. And then Pineda will actually take it up. Past the foot. And I think that was a set play, Austin, but she did not have help in terms of a trailing player on the play.
That's right. We saw Brianna Rodriguez attempting to go towards the middle there, but just the timing was a little bit off on that pass attempt. But you like to see that attempt there, pushing the ball towards the very far side of that box and attempt to get somebody pushing towards the middle and create a little bit of confusion for that Bavarian back line.
Over the midfield, Bavarian has it. Played right now by Block. Now stolen away by Pineda. Tap kick over to Bodie. Inside the 40-meter, Pineda. And she was going to go after it, number 1 partner. It was a little far away from her. Number 2, if she had touched it, she might have been offsides anyways.
Yeah, absolutely, partner. It was definitely a good attempt by her, but certainly too much effort and too much leg was put on that pass to actually find Pineda going towards the middle. So certainly need to tone it down just a little bit. The passes so far have been clean and crisp for the most part, but they'll have to keep on working through that as there's a timeout here now for a water break.
Water break on the pitch. We'll take another break. You're watching SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Illinois' top-ranked orthopedic and spine practice, Midwest Orthopedics at Rush, is now in Joliet. See a world-class specialist close to home. To be your best, see the best.
Back in a second. Back to the action at Lions for Hope Sports Complex. Kyle Smith alongside Austin Wright as it's 0-0. Couple of times that both teams have had opportunities, Austin. They haven't been able to score yet. And for Chicago, what kind of adjustments do they need to make on the offensive end?
You know, you saw some great passes throughout this entire match that were just slightly off. You see the vision for some of these players like Excavate Pineda to get in front of those and have Kennedy Burchell pass towards her as she makes a move towards the middle of the pitch. But really some of those passes haven't been quite right on the money enough for them to actually have more of those scoring opportunities. So you'd like to see more bodies being thrown towards the middle instead of some of these singular runs like we saw just right before that water break.
Bavarian takes it away. Now played by Sikowski. As Chicago steals. Tapped over and cleared that time by Bavarian. Last touch by Coker. Throw-in coming up for Chicago. Bavarian steals off the foot that time of Johnson. That's now played by Stoek. Now to the 40 meters. Zakowski plays it. Looking for block and gets it to her. Past midfield. Past the 40, now to the 22. Campana has it. Campana on her right foot. Set up in front. And just not able to get it on net. They'll try it again as it was last touched by Chicago. And
some great positioning there by Abigail Roy to get right in front of that pass and not allow Bavarian any more chances right there in the front as they had one of those singular forwards moving right towards Kaiser in front of her own net.
Bavarian plays it out to the 40 meter. Now to the 22. Chip kick. No one home to head it. Off the fingertips of Kaiser. Another opportunity. Kaiser gets in front of that shot. Getting a piece of it that time was Haley Johnson. And a mistake by Kaiser, and it almost cost her team a goal.
Absolutely. And Kate Cullison also in the area right there having another rebound opportunity to get in front of that as well. It's certainly some more shot opportunities coming here for Bavarian, and they've really found a little bit more life here to get in front of that Chicago backline.
So the first mistake by either goalkeeper, Kaiser, but she did get in the way of the rebound try, as was by Johnson. Now out to the touchline. Turnaround right-footed kick to the sideline. And last touching at that time was the Bavarian United SC team. To the 40 meter. in between the 22 and the 40 to midfield. Last touch that time by Coker, and now a pass over to Campana. Campana past the 22-meter. Campana set up in front, and it goes over the crossbar. It'll be a goal kick coming up for Kaiser. Past the 40-meter, as Kaiser's struggling right now, partner. That's the second time that she's on the goal kicks. It's gone straight to the other goalkeeper. What's happening right now on the goal kicks?
You know, especially whenever you see some of those passes that she's attempting to make, they're just not quite enough effort. But also, especially with some of those shots that, like we saw with Campana for Bavarian, you see some of those lanes that they're able to create against players like Ava Pattinson for Chicago's backline, as well as Nicole Doucette, who's playing a little bit of that defensive midfielder as well. So in order for them to be able to get in front of those passes, they need to be able to mark their women, especially early, whenever they can, if they don't want to allow any more shots against the formidable Kaiser.
We're going to give you stats in a second. It is 0-0 here at the home of the Lionesses, also known as Chicago City SC. Over to the touchline, played by Bavarian. Between the 40 and the 50. Is played by Campana, stolen away by Pineda. Pineda on her right foot. Pineda sets it back over to the 40-meter. It's played right now by Soto, now to the touchline. The double team was about to come, but then she got through it. Closely defended by Colister, and offside was Chicago. She knew it right away as she was trying to tap it over the head of Olsen. Offside that time by Soto, and a goal kick coming up for Olsen. To the 40-meter. Trying to get past the D. Turnaround left-footed kick. Chicago steals. In between the 40 and the 22. Shot. Olsen off the crossbar again. And Olsen, her best friend, the crossbar there, avoiding giving up the goal.
What an amazing shot there by Chicago City to get that right at the crossbar. Just not quite low enough there, but a great save made by Olsen for Bavarian to not allow that to get past the actual line and get awarded a goal for Chicago. And if you're a Bavarian fan watching right now, you have to be breathing a massive sigh of relief after that big attempt there.
Second time that Chicago has hit the crossbar, and they just haven't been able to finish the job. That time, it was both a combination of Olsen getting a piece of it and it landing off the crossbar. And remember, it's one of those tough shots that's tough on the ref, because the ref has to decide, did it hit net or did it hit complete crossbar? And then when it came back down to the ground, did it touch the end line or did it touch past the end line for the goal? We don't have a VR system today. We have replay, but the officials don't. So we know if it's a goal, but the officials have to go with their call, their crew out on the pitch. Another shot, blocked that time by Bavarian. Over to the touchline. Chicago has it now. Stolen away that time by Sikowski, trying to clear it. And now over inside the 40-meter. Tapped over to the sideline on the right foot. Sending it over that time to Burchell. Now over to midfield, played by Doucette. And now inside the 40. Rodriguez with it. Stolen away by Bavarian. Bavarian United SC from the Milwaukee area looking to get their first win against Chicago. Each team will play the other teams twice, one at home and on the road. No neutral site games except for last night, because that was an exception. And then a foul committed by Chicago. It's been pretty clean. We haven't seen a lot of slide tackles. It's been pretty clean and just a lot of just passing, avoiding slide tackles at all costs tonight right now.
Absolutely, and especially whenever you take into account the amount of close tackles that have been made by both teams. It really hasn't been quite as physical as you might expect for some of these other previous USLW matches that we've seen Chicago in, but I'm sure that will change as this match continues to progress forward, as Fernanda Soto is trying to make a big effort there in the middle, but a good tackle made by Bavarian.
Over to the 40-meter dashes, and then over to the 40. We're on the right side of the pitch. Great move getting past the D by Campana. Campana with it on her right foot. Some jersey tugs. No call. They say play on. And then cleared that time by Chicago's Gennady Burchell. And they're going to say it was last touch by Bavarian. But what a move that time by Campana. Even better defense, though, by Chicago. They regroup, they retreat, and they have help over the top. The rotation was done excellently by Chicago City SC.
No doubt about that, partner, especially with Campana. That was a great move by her right on the near side touchline to be able to get around Burchell, but Burchell able to keep up very handily and get in front of that one and force that out of bounds. And now having to make Bavarian retreat again is ex-Caret Pineda doing the same here, marking her woman, trying to get in front of those passing lanes.
Past midfield, played right now by Bavarian. Inside the 22-meter now, tapped over, and Chicago has it now. Between the 40 and the 50, it's played right now by Burchell. Pineda to the touchline, inside the 22-meter. Stifling defense by Bavarian. Turnaround kick, Olsen covers it up. Hard to go far post on a shot like that, Austin. She was forced to go near post, and Olsen with the easy save.
Absolutely, and especially when you see Sophia Jim, you try and make a move like that, it's obviously going to be extremely difficult to turn immediately right around a defender who's been on you like glue, especially in that moment. But for her to be able to get it basically right on net right there and forcing Olsen to have to get on the ground and save it is still nonetheless impressive by both sides to be able to make a play like that happen. But you have to imagine that more shots like that will be coming from a player like Sophia Jamie, who has 6 on the season. 6 goals, I should say.
Kicked over, going after right now is Phillips, inside the 22. Then kicked over to the 40-meter off the chest. Trying to do that amazing kick where you tap it to yourself over the head of the opponent. But Coker read it well, and she had help over the top by Block. Over to the touchline. We're in the 38th minute. No score in between the 22 and the 40. Chicago with it now. Tapped over to the 22-meter, deep into the territory of Chicago. Off the foot. Fakes the shot. Chip kick. Header. No one there to boot it in. And Kaiser will pick it up. A 0-0 score here at the home of Chicago City.
And that was a good attempt there by Catherine Coker, Haley Block, to push it over to another one of her players, and Haley Johnson right there on the near side to be able to get that header, but just really not enough effort being put on by her to actually get that closer to Kaiser, and an easy save made by her in the middle of the net. So for Bavarian, they're certainly able to respond in very easy situations like this and find ways on the far side and the near side of these sidelines, being able to force Chicago to have to move out wide and then collapse immediately back in towards the box.
Chicago out shooting them 7-4, but they have committed 3 offsides, just 1 for Bavarian United SC. Kicked away by Chicago, headed over to the 40-meter. It's played right now by Sikowski. Sikowski has it, she boots it over, tap kick. Chicago on the far touchline. It's going to be a throw-in now for Bavarian. And It's headed over that time to block. Good overhead pass. And it'll go past the end line. Goal kick coming up for Kaiser. Each goalkeeper has not been perfect tonight. If I had to pick a goalie that made more mistakes, probably Kaiser, just because she's not been great with the goal kicks. They've gone from end to end, and it's been a couple of lost possessions for Chicago, but all that Chicago needs is the victory. And as long as Kaiser is good down the stretch, it can make the saves. There's gonna be matches where you're never gonna be perfect out there, but you find ways to be good down the stretch. That's a quick kick off the corner. There's going to be games where you're going to be practically perfect. There's going to be games where you make mistakes. And either an offsides or possibly went past the end line.
Yeah, yes, that's right, partner. Yeah, that one being offsides right there on Chicago. Bavarian able to retain this one, but you're absolutely right, though. It's certainly evident that both sides are able to find sort of their little bit of niches, whether they find ways to try and get towards the middle of the box, really try and stretch it out wide. There's really been opportunities for both sides to continue to use their speedy forwards and get some in front of the goalies right there, but you never know what could happen as the match progresses on.
If you're enjoying the broadcast, click on that wheel icon, then click on quality, then you can click on 720p. It's a boot and goes very far and away from the opponent. Goal kick coming up for Bavarian. Between the 40 and the 22, played on the touchline. As that lead pass was trying to feed it that time to Colasar. As a throw in for Bavarian. Pass midfield, left-footed boot. Trying to feed it to the 22. Chicago with the steal. Chicago with it now. Sliding pass to the touchline. Both teams, it's been pretty even. They've had their opportunities. Chicago's had more shots anyways, but Bavarian had a rebound try as it went right to the foot of Johnson. She just couldn't slam it home. Meanwhile, Chicago's hit the crossbar twice. Olsen was lucky that when it hit the crossbar a second time, that the ball landed still in play and not past the end line. Been the second straight game, partner, that a Chicago players either hit the post or the crossbar. The Rochester game hitting the post as they lost 1-0. Now they've hit the crossbar twice today, and you got to think it's getting into their minds a little bit as they've hit everything but the back of the net their last two matches.
Well, that's definitely true, partner. You really have to think that would actually be affecting a little bit of their mentality going forward on trying to continue to put shots on the net. But it's also happening to Bavarian. We've seen that throughout this match, too. They've not really been able to find those clean-looking shots, having only had one save against Kaiser throughout this match. So far, one of those true saves for a shot on goal. So we'll have to see what kind of shot opportunities could be coming forward for Chicago, whether it be with Sophia Jamie, one of the leading scorers, or one of the other forwards, such as Meg Bodie as well.
Out to the touchline, and then kicked out that time by Chicago's Abigail Roy coming off the bench today. Emma Phillips had to leave. Alice Campana takes the header, the throw-in, the overhead pass. And a little tap pass. Chicago will have to do a turnaround clear. Tap straight up, header. Good job playing it that time by Meg Bodie. Bavarian kicks it back. Olsen will now play it, and she could not grab with her hands because it was passed by a teammate. Tap kick to the defense, now to the midfielders. And then tapped over to the 40-meter. Slow-moving ball as it slid past midfield. Then retrieved that time by Campana. The ball's obtained now by Chicago. Rodriguez on the trail. Now sent over to Pineda. Rodriguez shifts over to the right. Back over in between the 22 and the 40. We'll call 30 meters from the goal. Now to the touchline. Pineda sending it over to Burchell. Chip kick, headed away. They send it up in front, but no one home to head it. In the 45th minute, still no score.
And with this being a no-score game this far, partner, you have to wonder, when will that finally come through for this match? And to see, well, we have an opportunity here with Sophia Jamie, but gracefully blocked by Chloe Osen. A brave move by her to get in front of that one.
She hasn't been perfect. Neither goalkeeper has. But they've made the plays they've needed to down the stretch. They've also been aided by the crossbar, especially Olsen. As it's a big rivalry. Bavarian just an hour and a half north of Chicago. And it was a tie earlier in the season. And once again, a low-scoring affair here in the Windy City. Header to midfield. To the right foot, in between midfield and the 40-meter dash. Tapped over to the sideline. Falling down are both players. But Chicago got in the... Oh, they're going to call it on Bavarian. Wow, I'm surprised by that, Austin. It looked like Chicago, if they're going to call foul on anybody, that Chicago got in the way of that passing lane first.
And certainly so, partner. That was definitely a tough tackle for Ava Pedersen to make right there on the near side. But an interesting call to not be able to call that against, or to actually call that against Abigail Stoke.
It's very rare do you see a foul called on the offensive player. It happens, though. We saw it a couple times last night in the men's game between Peoria and Chicago. It's the 47th minute as we get closer to the 48th. Still no score. If you're just joining us, Chicago's hit the crossbar twice, as that will do it for the first half. Chicago's out shooting Bavarian, but they still haven't scored yet.
That's right. They've had plenty of opportunities so far in this first half, partner, but obviously the crossbar has not been their friend, and as well the wind has not been Bavarian's friend, as some of their shots have been pushed away from the Chicago wind. So we'll have to see what gives in the second half, but an absolutely great effort by both sides to pester both goalkeepers.
We'll take a break. We'll give you some more Stat Crew stats coming up next on SBS, the broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. SBS offers live telecasts on channel 59.3, YouTube, or Twitch. We include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
You know, I started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little click at the beginning of the game, so I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search Sports Broadcast Solutions on YouTube. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede.
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the post-game show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith. But my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. Other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense. And Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and a goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape, but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics, and we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. We broadcast sporting events for people of all ages, including adult leagues, high school leagues, and kids. Complete with professional-looking graphics, broadcasters, color analysis, and commercials. We do pre- and post-game interviews with the players. In addition, Sports Broadcast Solutions does highlight films, including college recruiting reels, highlight films you'd see on sports news programs, and just simply highlight films for fun. Sports Broadcast Solutions also provides raw footage and live streams if you'd like. Subscribe to us and listen to our professional talk videos about relevant topics in the pro and college ranks. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, contact us at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital world. This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. SBS offers live telecasts on channel 59.3, YouTube, or Twitch. We include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
You know, I started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little click at the beginning of the game, so I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search Sports Broadcast Solutions on YouTube. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the post-game show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith. But my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these
Back to the action at Lions for Hope Sports Complex. Kyle Smith alongside Austin Wright. It's 0-0 as we go to the second half here at Lions for Hope. And partner, it's gut check time now for the Lionesses. Can they find a way to get a victory? They need to at least get one to still be alive for the wild card. The draw, they'd still be kind of alive, but they really need the win today.
Absolutely. For that second playoff spot that they are searching for, as well as Bavarian, who's only 3 points behind them currently in the table, both of them are going to have to put in a lot more effort on the offensive end in this second half if they want to get ahead and gain some of those crucial points to get right up next to Minnesota Aurora, who's handily having the first position in the Heartland Division. So for thus far, we've seen plenty of good shots throughout both sides, but obviously Chicago's had a lot more total shots, and just only one more shot on goals. So to adjust going forward for them, you have to wonder if they will be able to find players like Sophia Jamie, as well as other players from the front line for Megan Bodie, as well, to be able to get them opportunities to continue to get shots on net.
As we're going to show you the stat crew stats in a minute here. It's 9 shots. The problem is, Austin, only 2 of them are on goal, which is one of the many reasons it's still 0-0.
Absolutely, and especially the crossbar for Chicago, at least, has not been their friend throughout this entire match as well, because it's been off that, as well as Chloe Olsen making very clutch saves, whether it be through the air or having to dive on the ground, as we saw late in that first half. So to adjust, Chicago is going to have to find different ways to get in front and create a little bit more chances, whether it be passing towards another teammate, giving that extra effort to create confusion, or finding other ways to go on the outside as well.
Tap kick in between the 40 and the 50, and played right now by Bavarian. It's back to the Bavarian end. I'll be back.
And so for Bavarian, they've had their own plethora of opportunities, whether it be trying to find shots on net or not, but overall, once we start this second half now, it will certainly be a slow-moving game as we try and see who can actually be able to get adjustments, as that one's being called offsides there. Chicago will have possession on this one, and as it goes out of bounds.
Nothing game. Out shooting Bavarian in the first half with Chicago. They outshot them 9-4, but only 2 of them were on goal. So they got to find a way to get those opportunities in front of the net and then get them on net, because 9 shots on goal to 4 is a great stat line, but if you're not getting on net, it's almost a wasted stat line. And sent out of bounds that time by Chicago. It'll be Bavarian ball as we switch ends. Chicago actually has it. It was last touched by Bavarian.
And Chicago getting called there. Sophia Jamie looked to be holding on to one of those Bavarian players there. Looked to be Haley Block for Bavarian. So Bavarian will hold on to the possession there. And so we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Kyle, that obviously clean play will have to play a factor throughout this. We haven't seen any yellow cards as of yet. And so far, otherwise than that, it's been a clean game. Otherwise, it's a big shot there on the outside. It's Haley Johnson for Bavarian, but it goes far up and away from the net. It'll be a goal kick coming up for Lauren Kaiser.
When we've seen the goal kicks, Austin, it's been done better by Olsen than Kaiser. Kaiser has a good idea. She's getting a lot of velocity on them and a lot of distance, but the problem is it's too far away from the nearest forward or midfielder. Chance for Chicago, and Olsen just covers it up, is not able to get to that ball. Was Bavarian's Haley Block and forcing Olsen to get out there and smother it up. Goal kick. Something about that end partner. Now Olsen's having some trouble. The wind resistance is a lot more prevalent this side of the pitch for goal kicks than it is on that side. Will we see Olsen, now that she's on that side of the pitch, defer to kicks and outlet passes to the defenders instead of punts, goal kicks past the midway line?
Well, absolutely, especially throughout the rest of this match. We've seen it in the first half with the wind playing a factor, and it's been a strong gust blowing through here throughout this entire match towards the southwest side. So on your screen, it's blowing towards those benches and slightly left as well. So having to adjust on that, especially for the goal kicks like you're mentioning, that's something that both of these sides will have to factor in whenever they're making some of those long crossing passes looking for some of their teammates.
The throw-in pass, and it's successful. Now near the touchline, it's played right now by Grizak. And Grizavic lost it, played right now by Bavarian's Madison Tuma. And now to the left side, played by Seam. Seam trying to get it. Soda with great inside positioning to steal that ball. And now out to the touchline. Pineda will take it. Pineda on her left foot. Switching over to the right. Great spin move. And then a tap kick trying to feed it over to Hamey. And almost colliding with each other. That time was Parnello and Block. And now over to the goalkeeper and Olsen to the touchline. Near the midway line. Going it after at that time was Abigail Stoic inside the 40 meters. Shot from a large distance. It's a goal! Chicago finally gets on the board, partner. 1-0 lead for the Lionesses.
That was an absolute rocket by Xcaret Pineda to get Chicago in front for the lead here. What a fantastic shot by her, going against the wind, finding some space right in front of the box there, just outside of it, to be able to get that right in the top bins. What a fantastic shot by Xcaret Pineda.
Well, she's making a case to be the SBS Woman of the Match. What a fantastic shot. That was no cheap shot. That was in between the 40-meter and 22. An absolute rocket past Olsen. 2 shots went past her fingertips, got hit off the crossbar. She ran out of luck that time, Austin.
Absolutely, and Olsen did everything that she could, but that shot was too far, too fast, and too high and away from her to be able to get an attempt of even putting a finger on that one. So, an absolute rocket being able to put in the back of the net now. 2-0 for Chicago, or excuse me, 1-0 for Chicago early on in this second half. And you have to imagine now they will have to continue finding ways to give ex-Red Pinedo those chances, as well as Sophia Jamie, who's had her fair share of shots throughout this match as well.
As we look at the Stat Crew stats in the first half alone, Sophia Hamey with 5 shots, 2 went on goal. Meg Bodie with 3. Emma Phillips, who had to leave the match early, with 1. Only 2 went on goal, so now they have 10 shots, 3 on goal. But look, at this point of the season, Chicago doesn't care about it being pretty. They just got to get victories.
Certainly so, especially for them to be able to hang on to that second position in the Heartland Conference here. You have to imagine that shots like that will be able to keep them up on it. But Bavarian has had their own plethora of quality chances, although been a lot fewer than Chicago. They have happened, and now they have an opportunity here right in front of the net.
Bavarian shot, big time save by Kaiser. It was off the foot that time of Anna Kasim. Kaiser with a fantastic save. Corner kick coming up. Taking it is Gabby Schwartz, but a humongous save by Kaiser.
Absolutely. Kaiser doing a great job there, putting her right boot right on that ball to be able to force that out of bounds. A fantastic move by her to be able to not allow Bavarian to equalize here.
Up in the air. Kaiser lost it again. Loose ball. Partner, what's happening? That's the second time it's fallen out of her gloves.
Absolutely. That shot was just out of her reach there. She tried her best to be able to jump up and grab that one, but still credit to her backline to be able to get in front of that ball and not allow Bavarian to retain sole possession on that one in the box as another shot comes in.
Bavarian, they're giving them their A+ effort. You expected it. Kaiser has not been perfect, far from it, but a humongous save on the near post, and she still has the clean sheet to her record. Then pressure time, Austin, for Chloe Olsen. She gives up another goal, and that would be it.
You would certainly think so, the way that this match has been playing out thus far, but certainly with Bavarian, the way that they've had some of these recent shots, you'd have to imagine that something could be brewing there with them, especially if they keep finding players such as Kate Cullison or Haley Johnson up front.
Left-footed kick.
And
getting the body that time of, looks like 27, Eva Pattison. And a right-footed boot, kicked away. In between the 40 and the 50, Bavarian steals, getting to it quickly. That time was blocked. Now over to the touchline. As we'll get a throw-in coming up, 1-0 lead. Text line's open. Your favorite World Cup memory, text 330-957-7653. We appreciate everybody watching on the chat. Club Sports Marketing, Allison Ross, and of course, Elf Worshiper. He's been our #1 fan this season. Past the midway line. Looking to steal is Chicago, and does. Tap kick. Right in stride, Austin. Inside the 22. Chicago pressuring Bavarian. Shot. Good idea, Austin, but you'd like to get that on net, or at least do a little chip kick where your teammate can head it into the back of the net.
Absolutely, and just not really quite enough space there for any other Chicago forward to actually be able to get right there, as the back line was still pretty far and away, so no one was really able to put a body right towards the net of Chloe Olsen. But certainly an interesting shot opportunity for Brianna Rodriguez, for her to be able to put that right towards the net, but just, yeah, a little bit too much leg by her.
Abigail Roy inside the 22, looking to steal is Bavarian, now to the near touchline. And then kicked out of bounds. It'll be Bavarian ball, down a goal. Playing it right now will be Brooke Parnello. As we look at the stats of the last match that was played between Chicago and Bavarian. Right-footed boot, headed away beautifully by Chicago. To the touchline, going after it is Molly Kuiper. Kuiper will do the throw-in, and then played over about 5 meters away from the touchline. It was last touched by Campana. She's had a couple of nifty moves to get inside positioning on Chicago, but just not a lot of shots by Bavarian. Once again at half, they only had 4, 2 from Campana, 1 from Johnson, 1 from Block, and the only shot that went on goal was from Johnson's foot.
And with this set piece opportunity for this corner coming up for Bavarian, you have to imagine that they're going to try again to go high and away, but that one just not quite able to find any recipients on that one.
It'll be a goal kick coming up from Kaiser. So if you're Chicago, Austin, when do you start playing less aggressively, more conservative, more monkey in the middle, playing keep away from the defense instead of being all-out aggressive on offense?
The only time you would ever consider that, at least at this moment, the way that Bavarian's able to get towards the net is until there's a second goal and there is no other goals scored by Bavarian. If Chicago didn't find a way to get to a 2-0 lead right now, you would consider playing a little more conservatively, but with this opportunity, something could happen.
That shot was blocked by Hamey. In the Heartland division, Minnesota stealing this division away from everybody else. Chicago will have to play them again. Chicago was undefeated, a 2-2 draw to Bavarian. That was up in Milwaukee. And now near the 22. Stop and go move. Shot wide. Both teams struggling with that right now. Austin, what have you seen that's made it so tough to get these shots on net?
That's right. Really just didn't quite have her feet set there for Madison Tuma. That was definitely a good positioning by her, but just not quite enough effort by her made to actually have both feet set and have a strong shot there, just pushed wide left of the net. So moving forward for Bavarian, you have to like your chances as you've had all these shot opportunities, but really just not quite enough accuracy for some of those strikers so far.
Out to midfield off the foot of Hamey. Now to Rodriguez. To the 40-meter. It's played that time by Diaz. Looking to steal and briefly had it was Grzavak. And now to the touchline. Keeping it as Chicago. To midfield. Tapped over. And now to the 40-meter. Played by Chicago. Tapped over. And now to midfield. Played by Chicago. Inside the 40-meter dash. Stop and go move, changing directions, losing meters, but keeping possession. Trying to get a piece of it that time was Madison Tuma. And now over inside the 40-meter. Chicago calls for it. Grzezvak was on it. As it's played now by Bavarians, Madison Tuma. Chicago has it, the 40-meter, tapped over to the touchline. Looking for the call. Well, Austin,
that was certainly an aggressive move there by Parnello for Bavarian.
Right. You can almost understand it. They haven't really called a lot of fouls all day, and that's been the precedent they've set. And that's what you ask for, just consistency. What you don't call in the first minute, you don't call in the 91st minute.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially whenever you see players like Sophia Jamie trying to get her positioning. We just saw just a minute ago with her trying to receive one of those passes from her teammate Ex-Caret Pineda, but certainly good efforts being made, but that was an aggressive maneuver by Parnell with what looked to be a very strong, almost shove there, partner.
Chicago City SC and the 10-year anniversary of the club. Both teams have just been dominant at Lions for Hope Sports Complex. Only Minnesota has scored more than 1 goal this year in terms of the women's league. And in the men's league, just Springfield scoring at least 2. Hard kick was delivered by Parnello. She got away with 1 foul. That time that was a clear foul committed by Parnello.
And certainly the right call by the ref on that one. And Parnello playing very aggressively against Sophia Jamie, not allowing her to retain any sort of possession, especially right here on the near sideline.
Header. Now to the touchline. It's going to be played that time by Diaz. And then kicked up by Roy. Chance for Chicago. Tap pass. Pineda again, too high. But at least the field goal was good.
Oh, partner, what an opportunity for Xcaret Pineda to have almost her second goal in the day. Just got a little too far under that one. She had the perfect positioning, and what a pass there in the middle to give her that opportunity. Just really not quite enough of the right positioning on her boot to actually get that one in the back of the net.
Kicked over by Bavarian off the chest. Good job avoiding the handball by Chicago. They now play it inside the 40 and the 50. Now played by Schwartz. Past midfield, booted up. Chicago looking to get it. Obtained by Bavarian. Chance for Bavarian United. Inside the 40 meter, getting closer to the 22. Tap kick. Then tapped over. Lead pass, right on stride. Block crosser attempt cleared by Chicago. Off the head. Past the 40 meter, looking to kick it, and does, but she kicks it out that time by Gabby Schwartz. Throw-in coming up for Chicago. Keeping it into Chicago was off the foot of Hamey. Now over to Block, and then stolen away by Chicago. Rodriguez has it on her right foot. Tap kick, looking to steal, and does by Seam as she plays it from midfield to the other side of the pitch, and then tapped over inside Chicago territory. Tap kick, give and go to Chicago, was off the foot that time of Burchell. Now to the 40 meter, looking for a call. I don't know about that one, Austin. Looks like she just fell down.
Yeah, absolutely, partner. And Fernando Soto looked to be moving away from the Bavarian midfielder right there at that moment. That's a very interesting call for the ref to be making on that one, especially giving her a booking on that one. A yellow card is an interesting decision by them. I'm not sure if I agree with that one, but the refs, all the players for Chicago, they're just going to have to live with that decision there and continue to find a way to go against the adversity faced on this one. And
as you can see,
now for Fernando Soto, she's going to have to make sure that she doesn't have any more aggressive maneuvers being made against her there, so she doesn't get a second yellow.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, you can't always like the call that's made on the pitch, but as you saw the halftime stats, that kick a little bit high and to the wide. I don't like that idea, partner. Way too far away from the net. I'd like to see a little chip kick and a header. What do you think?
Especially with so many bodies that they were throwing towards the middle of the box there, you would have imagined that that kick would have been just a bit of a lob sort of shot and attempting for a header possibly in there, but especially when you try and put something more towards the net, I'm not sure that the player right there was factoring in all the way, and it might have gotten a little bit too much under it on that one.
It'll be a goal kick coming up for Lauren Kaiser. Well, when you're in a game like this, Austin, it's always good to have a goalkeeper in Kaiser, one of the all-time greats in UIC history. And this isn't even her A game. We've seen her play a lot better than she's played tonight, and she could still get the shutout.
Absolutely. And she really has done a great job thus far in the match. And she's had plenty of great saves. And that's also credit to her backline of getting in front of some of those shots and helping her out throughout this entire match.
And it's been tough. She had to deal with it. Now Olsen's dealing with it. A lot of wind resistance as you goal kick from that side of the pitch as you go northbound to southbound. And we'll probably see Olsen just defer, kick it out to the defender on the goal kicks. Over to the 40 meter, off the foot, looking to steal. Chicago after it. Pineda plays it on her right foot, tap kick. Then sent over to Hamey. Good little quick boot. Trying to keep the Bavarian off defense, off their rhythm. Out in front, kind of a blind pass, no one home to retrieve it, and then cleared by Seam. And it seems like Bavarian's defense has not been as good as we saw in the first half, Austin.
And certainly not. And they've really had a lot more gaping holes than we've seen earlier in this match. And Jamie had a great opportunity to give it to somebody right in the top of the box there. She was clearly looking for Xcaret Pineda, who was the closest person in that area, but clearly couldn't find anyone right there. But you have to like the opportunities that Chicago's been getting, finding ways on the far or the sides of the sideline, going back towards the middle.
Gonna get inside positioning. Out in front, she's wide open. Oh! Just too slow of a ball. Havey wasn't expecting it. She was wide open, though, Austin. If it had just been on target, it would have been a one-timer shot for Havey.
Certainly so. Diaz had a great opportunity there for her to give that ball over to Jamie, but just really had a little bit too much spin on it and just not quite enough effort, as there's another aggressive maneuver being made against Jamie from the Bavarian backline, but nonetheless, she's still relentless in trying to keep up with that ball.
Well, that's the precedent being set, so both teams are going to have to make adjustments. Unless you go right at the leg and it's obvious foul, they're not going to call it tonight. They're going to just play straight advantages or not call anything. So you got to be aggressive, and you have to be cognizant of what's going on the pitch and make the adjustments necessary as we move forward here in the 66th minute. Off the body, setting it over that time to Seam. Seam will play it on her right foot. Seam with it to the sideline now on her right leg. Out in front. Crosser trying to head it in, and might be a handball. Wouldn't matter, it'd be a goal kick anyways, as the ball slid past the end line. Swing and a miss on the shot. It is Jamie, not Amy. Wondering what's going on. Oh, okay. I thought that maybe that the ref changed his mind, but Kaiser just taking her time. 1-0 lead if you're just joining us. Ex-Correa Pineda with the go-ahead goal. And that's all we've seen in terms of goals scored tonight. Try to do a spinorama move. They're going to allow that to happen. Some body positioning, not necessarily hip checks, but getting a little bit of the jersey will be allowed tonight. Left-footed kick. It's off the foot of Schwartz, now to the far touchline. Stolen away by Chicago. Here comes Shy City, past midway. Trying to get it on target, and then it's tapped out by Gresiak. It'll be a throw-in for Chicago on a beautiful summer night here in the Windy City. Throw-in. Tapped over in front. Now to the far touchline. Chicago with it. Set up in front. Ball loose, but cleared by Bavarian. The intended target was Rodriguez. Bavarian with it now, past the 40-meter. They're now 70 meters away from the goal, but they keep position. And now possessing the ball, Bavarian to the far touchline, sending it over. On the left foot, switching to the right, back to the defense. Played right now by Oliviero to midfield. Rodriguez with the steal. Rodriguez with the tap kick. Inside the 40-meter, back to Rodriguez. Tap and go. 2-on-2. Just past her foot. Roy had it briefly, Austin, but just couldn't keep it.
Yeah, that's right, partner. That was definitely a good move there. Great passing cleanly on that far side of the pitch there for Chicago, but just really not able to find the right recipient, as there will be another water break coming up here in the 69th minute of this match here. And so far, partner, it's really been a very solid showing by both sides. Obviously, Chicago has a lot more momentum than Bavarian has had just recently, especially with that goal. An absolute rocket by ex-Red Pineda.
So we will take a break. More soccer action coming up next on SBS, the broadcasting network for everyone.
Illinois' top-ranked orthopedic and spine practice, Midwest Orthopedics at Rush, is now in Joliet. See a world-class specialist close to home. To be your best, see the best.
One 1-0 in favor of Chicago City. We appreciate you watching the broadcast. Final reminder, the text line's open. Your favorite high school, college, or FIFA soccer memory? Text to 330-957-7653. The Bavarian's in trouble right now, partner. They lose today, their season's most likely over. Chicago wins, they're still very much alive for the wild card.
They certainly aren't, but just being behind in 3 points at the moment for Bavarian, they're going to try and search as much as they can for at minimum a draw to attempt to get as close as they can to Chicago, who does have that second playoff spot at the moment in the Heartland Division. So you'll have to wonder if Xcaret Pineda or Sofia Jaime could be the ones to actually be able to get another ball in the back of the net, or could we see one of the forwards for Bavarian? There have been those chances made against Kaiser, who has been stellar in the second half.
Yeah, she's been even better than she was in the first half. She's been not as good as we've seen in previous matches, but still very, very good. If this is her at her B-plus game, just wait when you see her at her A-plus game. And this could be a better score than 1-0. Chicago hit the crossbar twice in the first half. Bavarian had a couple opportunities, too. In the first half, they hit the crossbar. And then Kaiser went off her fingertips in a rebound try for Bavarian. Chance for Chicago out in front. Pineda, left-footed boot. Oh, off the post. And it went off the far post, partner, and actually tapped off the post and went past the end line. And it's going to be a goal kick awarded for Bavarian. Tough break for Chicago City SC, but got to move forward. Pineda's just been lights out since the second half started.
She absolutely has, and just for her to have basically her third shot, especially her second on goal for this second half, it's very impressive to see from her being able to have these opportunities. I have to wonder if more of these could be coming for her in the second half, because there is still plenty of time for either one of these teams to actually be able to get another goal here.
In that game against Chicago, Rowan Lappy scored, as did Callie Chiarelli. And for Bavarian, the 2-2 draw, Brooke Parnello and Haley Block score. Right now, Jess Pineda has the ball that went past the goal line, and that's where we stand right now, 1-0. Kaiser working on a clean sheet. Chicago looking to stay alive in the wild card race. Can they win tonight and somehow win on July 1st against Minnesota Roar? Tap kick, oh, read well by Bavarian, beautifully done by Bavarian Austin, as they had a wide open winger on the right in Bodie.
Absolutely. Whenever you saw Kennedy Burchell right there, right in the front, she had a great idea to pass right over towards Meg Bodie, but just not quite enough, as Bavarian did a great job of getting in front of that pass and putting a boot on it. So you have to wonder, what else can Bavarian do to try and put more pressure on Kaiser, who hasn't really had too many shots go against her in these past 5 minutes of gameplay.
Tapped over to the touchline. It's a 1-on-4, and Chicago will slow it down. Tap kick right on stride. One of the reasons Chicago's up, not just that they're out shooting them, Austin, but the pass has been a little bit crisper than Bavarian's today.
Certainly so, and especially once we've seen after that water break there for both sides. We saw Callie Burrell for Chicago come onto the pitch as well, so she'll be able to bolster that midfield attack as well for the Lionesses. We'll have to see if that can actually be able to help them throughout this rest of this match, and to possibly put in what could be the nail in the coffin if they were able to get one more goal before Bavarian can find a way to equalize.
So now if you're Chicago, you're deep in their territory. If you don't have the shot you like, do you play a little monkey in the middle and keep the ball away, or just keep pestering the goalie with shots?
The way it's been going so far, partner, I'd have to imagine that they're going to continue to go through that peppering route as we see some more opportunities here in the middle.
Another crosser headed away, right on target on the header. Looking for a call. I'm surprised they didn't call that one. Chance for Roy. Shot big time. Saved by the goalkeeper. Another try for Chicago. It's a goal! Brianna Rodriguez with the potential dagger. And it's 2-0 Chicago City SC.
What a fantastic shot there for Brianna Rodriguez to be able to get that one onto the far right side of the net. Absolutely wonderful shot off her foot there to give Chicago a second goal here in this match, 3/4 of the way through.
Well, I don't know if the fat lady is here yet, but she might be in traffic. That was a huge goal. And once she gets here in the next couple of minutes, the fat lady will be singing. I don't see Bavarian scoring 2 goals in the next 15 minutes.
You know, partner, especially with the way that Bavarian has had those rare shot opportunities that started off early in the second half, you would imagine that they would go back to something similar towards that. But in these past few minutes, like I mentioned earlier, they really haven't had those opportunities to continue to pepper Kaiser in any sort of way. But only if those set pieces can come from them, whether it be through a corner or another possible free kick. I can't imagine that Bavarian will be able to have really too many other opportunities to have more shots on goal, because that back line for Chicago has been doing a fantastic job.
2-0 lead for Chicago, both goals in the second half. As that lead pass out in front. Olsen did not fully get it at first, then she finally covered it up. It's a tough task for Bavarian. It's just hard to get it past Kaiser. Really, it's hard to get it past any of these goalkeepers for Chicago. Besides that loss to Minnesota, if you score more than twice, keep the ball, because it's not going to happen often against the Chicago City SC. What a beautiful move by Pineda, and then sent over to her teammate on the wing, over to Bodie, out in front to Rodriguez. That was an impressive goal by Rodriguez. That was left-footed, by the way, as most people's dominant hand is right hand, right? So your dominant foot, usually your right foot. So when you can score goals with both feet, that's the reason why she's playing at the University of Pittsburgh.
Absolutely, and especially whenever you see Rodriguez, when she was able to make that move towards the middle, she had the confidence and the set feet ready to go. She knew that that was the exact shot she wanted in that moment. There was no other spot that she was going to put that ball, and it was able to work for her on that one.
2-0 lead. Don't go anywhere. The post-game show brought to you by SBS, the broadcasting network for everyone. Past midfield. Trying to get it that time to Greziak. Out front. If you've ever been to Milwaukee, Austin, there's a big German culture there. Shot, big time save by Kaiser. Rebound try, another save. Third chance. Try to get it on net, blocked. Maybe a fourth chance coming up. Off the body of Bavarian player, up in the air. Try to get it on net that time, Campana. My goodness, Lauren Kaiser with the saves of the night.
Holy cow, in the words of Harry Carey, that was incredible by Lauren Kaiser. That was an unbelievable movement by her to put her hands on both of those shots and get in front. And wow, the opportunity. If you're Madison Tua as well as Campana, you have to be furious to not be able to get one in the back of the net after that one.
Well, we were wondering who our woman of the match is going to be. I think we found it in the goalkeeper and Lauren Kaiser. And at SBS, we do the 3 stars of the match. I'll let you answer in a minute here, Austin. My 3 stars, if we finish with this 2-0 final. Number 1 would be Lauren Kaiser. Number 2 would be Brianna Rodriguez. And then number 3, ex-Corain Pineda.
Absolutely, partner. And, you know, I'm not sure I would really change that list really too much more than that. I might have to put ex-Corain Pineda second and then Brianna Rodriguez as the third star as well. But, you know, those 3 players have been fantastic. As Callie Burrell has another big shot, but a rebounding one opportunity there for Rodriguez to have her second just goes above the crossbar. What could have been for Brianna Rodriguez?
Well, if we're going to play the game of armchair soccer player, which what Rodriguez was trying to do and what she wanted to do was tap the ball over the net. But when you get a rebound try, you're so used to just getting as much velocity on the ball as possible. It's a weird angle to do those chip kicks over the head of the goalie as that pass in front, last touched by Chicago. As a goal kick coming up for Olsen, but Olsen has had her, she's been very busy. The task has been a lot for her, and she's delivered to a certain point, but Chicago, a relentless attack, and it's hard for Bavarian to finish the job with disallowing goals.
Absolutely. The attack for Chicago has really just been unrelenting throughout this second half here. And thus far for Bavarian, they've had, after that peppering against Kaiser, they really haven't had too many other opportunities besides the very beginnings of the second half here. So you have to wonder if they're going to be able to go back to what they were just doing and find a way to get another ball into the back of the net, or to get their first one at least.
Incredible saves by Kaiser. That shot goes wide. Appreciate Zachary Twine and Raul Diaz watching. And if you're wondering why Kaiser's taking so long on the kicks, number one, she wants to get a perfect kick off the goal kick. She also wants to waste some time.
Well, certainly so, and especially once we saw in that first half with her struggling a little bit with her accuracy on where she wanted to find her forwards. She's definitely finding more adjustment, taking her time, finding ways to get them in the correct positioning against that Bavarian back line.
And that's why some goalkeepers, if they don't feel confident in the boots and the punts, they'll just do a little chip kick, as tapping it away is Kaiser. She's got to get back up quickly. She's slow to get up. She might be injured.
And that certainly was a very tough fall there for Kaiser. You have to imagine that one really will be stinging tomorrow. We hope she's okay.
Well, the good news for Chicago, at least for the gamesmanship of getting the win, they feel more than confident in the backup in Shope. We had her in the pregame show, and with them up by 2, I think Coach Grums will go to her right away. Is getting warmed up. Is the backup goalie. She's got 6 as her practice jersey, but she wears number 42. It's a tough spot for Bella. The good news is, partner, it's the 82nd minute, and they're up by 2.
Absolutely, partner. And with them discussing here, it doesn't seem to be really too much movement by Kaiser. She looks like she's wanting to stay in as much as possible, but you have to imagine that Coach Gums would be wanting to possibly put in a sub and just not have to risk anything more for Kaiser, as Chicago does have a commanding 2-0 lead.
Right. They're going to need her later on in the season. Subs coming in. It will not be one for the goalkeeper, though, at least not right now. And that's the issue. You always wonder, well, why doesn't the goalkeeper always try to bat those balls away on those crossers? That's the issue. If you get too high and you fall awkwardly, it's an injury waiting to happen. So there's sometimes where the goalkeepers, if they don't feel confident and they don't have a huge wingspan, that they'll stay with the ground and avoid jumping up. You jump up too high and you land awkwardly, injury waiting to happen for the goalkeeper. As a little underhand pass. Well, she's tough. I appreciate it. Hopefully she's 100% though. It's a playoff game.
So, but it is impressive. She's able to continue moving on in this match. Luckily for her, though, there really isn't too much time left here in the second half.
Headed away, up in the air, off the foot, now to the far touch line. Crosser. Roy on it. Loose ball. Kaiser picks it up. Dangerous play by Abigail Roy, partner. If she had pushed off, it would have been a penalty kick awarded for Bavarian.
And it's certainly a precarious situation there for Roy, but props to her for not allowing too much movement. And like you were saying, not too much of a tug or push by her to move that away, but smartly played by Kaiser to just immediately hop on the ground, even though she had just done that only moments ago, flying through the air, falling on the turf field here at Lions for Hope Sports Complex.
You just don't want to do anything to allow Bavarian to have some confidence going into the 90th minute. You'd still have the lead. For example, if Abigail Roy had panicked and saw that Bavarian had a wide open net, Taylor Rinzel was the closest attacker to the ball. Yeah, I mean, if you tug and you give up the PK, there's a chance Kaiser gets the save on the PK. Not a good chance. And then you give Bavarian confidence and optimism going into the 85th, 90th minute. So I like that Roy played aggressively, but not overly aggressively, and trusted in Kaiser to make plays.
And especially so, if we could give a 4th star for this match, you would certainly have to give it to her or Sophia Jamie, as they've both been playing very aggressively and very smartly as well, being able to find their teammates in the correct positions. As Callie Burrell has an opportunity, she shoots and she scores. Chicago.
That'll do it. Callie Burrell with the dagger. 3-0 lead for Chicago, and most likely a victory in the Windy City. And I think it's safe to say that the fat lady is a soprano, and she's singing loudly and proudly right now.
No doubt about that one there, partner. And what an opportunity for Burrell to quickly move through that midfield and find a streaking opportunity in the middle of the box and just get in past Olsen. And if you're Olsen right now, you have to be kicking yourself. That was just a very tough shot to have to go against a one-on-one movement.
Lauren Kaiser working on the clean sheet. 3 goals. But you got to remember, it was 1-0 for the longest time, even when it was 2-0. Just some fabulous saves, back-to-back. 4 chances in a row, 3 good chances for Bavarian that Kaiser and the defense was up to the task of Kaiser either making the save or the defense blocking it away. Corner kick for Bavarian, left-footed boot, not a great one. The idea was good, partner, but you'd like to see a little bit more hang time on it and allow your forward to come onto the ball. Substitution coming into the match for Chicago City. It's going to be 2, actually 3. As one of them will be Hannah Grizik. We saw her on Sunday. In the 87th minute, Chicago putting all their subs in now, emptying the bench, and a 3-0 lead for Chicago City. It's been an impressive year for both teams, and they are not done yet, but they're going to have to do it away from Lions for Hope Sports Complex. This is our last home match broadcast, at least for the regular season. And for us to have a home broadcast for the playoffs, Chicago would have to win out to have a good enough seating to get a home broadcast down the road. But we will not have the women for a long time, if at all, for the rest of the season after tonight. We have 2 more men's games on July 6th and July 12th. And knock on wood, if they keep winning, we'll have a home broadcast, you would think, for the men's team.
Especially for both of these teams, you have to be feeling for Bavarian here, as they are now in some very tough form to have to deal with, having gone with back-to-back losses with Dutch Lions and Aurora respectively, and they're having to go back to Minnesota in just a couple days, partner. They're going there on Saturday, June 24th, and that is not an easy task to have to face against that team who's playing lights out every single match.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about who are the top goal scorers in the USLW. They don't have the best player in USLW, but they have 3 very, very good players, one of them being Hannah Adler. And for Chicago, they have a fabulous player in Hamey, but they don't have the kind of players that Minnesota has. And of course, the only goal that was scored for Chicago in that game against Minnesota was Hamey, out to the right wing. Great job passing it to herself that time by 16 in Nugent. Left-footed kick over to Pineda. More of a crosser than a shot. Either way, it's saved by Olsen and stolen away by Chicago. Looking to shoot, instead drops it off to Pineda. Pineda passes it to herself, some dribbling action, and then passed out to Nugent. Nugent drops it off near the 22. No-look pass, beautiful pass by Pineda, sends it over to Diaz. To the touchline. Last touch by Bavarian, picked up by Chicago. Diaz will do the throw-in. She can take as much time as she'd like, as Chicago with a very comfortable 3-0 lead. Stolen away by Nugent. Nugent, as she's defended that time by Seam. Left-footed boot. Sending it over to Grizik. Grizik, shot right into the breadbasket of Olsen. And you'd like for her to go far post with that, but if anything, that shot wastes time, and it forces Bavarian to go end-to-end.
Certainly so, and especially for Chicago, they played a fantastic match offensively, and especially with the goalkeeping for Lauren Kaiser. That cannot go understated, how well she has played throughout this entire match, especially battling through an injury late here in the second half. And so for Chicago, they will be playing their next match at RKC Third Coast on Saturday the 24th. That'll be an interesting match as they absolutely walloped them last time that they played here at Lions for Hope Sports Complex. That was another shutout with Lauren Kaiser in net, mind you, with a 5-0 shutout there. So you'll have to wonder if that one would result in something similar going forward for that one. But overall, this is a big bounce-back win for Chicago. But for Bavarian, they're certainly not in a great position here, having now lost 3 matches in a row and now having to go back on the road going to Minnesota Aurora. Or excuse me, they'll be home against Minnesota Aurora.
Yeah. Chicago has some road games. They go to Minnesota twice. They go to Rochester for a revenge game. I don't think they'll lose that one, but fantastic goalkeeper at Emmanak. Then they got to travel to Minnesota. They got to go to Egan. You hope for a draw. I don't know. RKC, cannot lose that RKC game. Can't even draw RKC. Got to beat RKC. As that shot off the post. Burrell again with a nice shot. I think we might have to give the ref a $20 bill so we can enlarge the goals.
Exactly, partner. Or something's going to have to be changed with those posts. You certainly would think that these players are going to be having those few choice words with those posts after the game,
right?
Considering how many times that they've connected with them so far. But overall, still, you got to have credit towards those attackers for Chicago to be able to continue to find ways to put the ball on the net.
Got to be frustrating how many times they've hit the crossbar and the post, but 3 times they did not hit the post, and because they had Kaiser between the pipes, looks like it's going to be a 3-0 win. Scored twice, actually all 3 goals in the second half, and then twice within a 15-minute span. As we are now in extra time in the 92nd minute. All Chicago today. It was looking iffy, though. Bavarian had their chances. They gave them their A game. But as we've seen with Chicago, there's a reason why they're the second-place team. When it comes down to the end of the match, it just seems like Chicago has the second most talent in terms of forwards than any other team in this division.
Absolutely, and it's very impressive whenever you watch a team like Chicago continue to find ways as a match progresses, slowly get better, find ways to get balls on the net, and as well as find any more shots against very tough opponents like Bavarian United.
Don't go anywhere. Post-game show brought to you by SBS. Coming up next, it'll either be the goalkeeper in Kaiser or Callie Burrell. We're going to keep you guessing until it happens. But if you're a guessing man, it'll probably be Kaiser. Off the body. It's so tough. You got to give a lot of credit to Rochester. Their only win of the season was here, where, like I said, combined the men and women have only lost twice. The men have not lost here yet. Left-footed kick, as that's off the head. Cleared that time by Pineda. That'll do it. Chicago wins impressively. All 3 goals scored in the second half. 3 different goal scorers, Austin, as the wild card spot is still very much alive for Chicago.
It certainly is. Chicago's certainly in a great position now, having won against Bavarian United, getting their revenge after that 2-2 draw just earlier in the season. You have to be very thankful for this one, especially now having a opponent in RKC Third Coast who has not been playing nearly as well as anyone else in this conference. So some momentum could be building back again for Chicago to continue get more wins on their season. But you have to give credit to Lauren Kaiser as well as X-Cred Pineda for that absolute rocket to open the scoring in this match.
So that does it for our play-by-play broadcast. The post-game show coming up next. But for now, signing off for our excellent crew, for Nathan Keogh, for Grant Harrison, for Rafael Gonzalez and Austin Wright, I'm Kyle Smith. That does it for our play-by-play broadcast. Post-game show coming up next on SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. SBS offers live telecasts on channel 59.3, YouTube, or Twitch. We include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
You know, I started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little click at the beginning of the game. So I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search Sports Broadcast Solutions on YouTube. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the postgame show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith, but my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense. And Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and a goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape, but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics, and we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. We broadcast sporting events for people of all ages, including adult leagues, high school leagues, and kids. Complete with professional-looking graphics, broadcasters, color analysis, and commercials. We do pre- and post-game interviews with the players. In addition, Sports Broadcast Solutions does highlight films, including college recruiting reels, highlight films you'd see on sports news programs, and just simply highlight films for fun. Sports Broadcast Solutions also provides raw footage and live streams if you'd like. Subscribe to us and listen to our professional talk videos about relevant topics in the pro and college ranks. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, contact us at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital world. This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. SBS offers live telecasts on channel 59.3, YouTube, or Twitch. We include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
You know, I started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little click at the beginning of the game, so I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search Sports Broadcast Solutions on YouTube. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the post-game show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith, but my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out.
Welcome to the post-game show brought to you by SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone. I'm Kyle Smith, but I, of course, don't matter. This young lady matters. The SBS Woman of the Match, a 3-0 victory for Chicago as they take care of business against Bavarian United SC. Big-time win for you guys. You get the clean sheet. What were you able to do so successfully that avoided them from scoring goals?
I mean, I just focused on every shot, cross, service in the box, just to make a big save, make sure the ball didn't go in the back of the net like everybody else was.
Some huge saves that you made down the stretch. What do you work on in practice so that you can get those bang-bang rebound tries to save and knock them away from the net?
A whole lot of reps. Our coach Tom puts us through a really great workout, but we're always doing reps, high intensity, and then we go train with the team and they have shots off and we play live, so it's good practice.
The chemistry of this team is just phenomenal. You're great, but then your offense gives you 3 goals. What has been worked on in practice and outside of practice to have that chemistry, everybody working for each other? It's a team effort, not individuals.
I mean, we work on a lot of transition and to defend and then press the ball. We have to move as a team, obviously, so we've been working on that a lot, and it's obviously shown very well.
You guys are still alive for the wild card, a couple of road games. I know that 2 of those losses have been to Minnesota. What's it going to take so that it becomes more successful against the Minnesota teams?
I mean, we got what it takes. We just need to go out and get it done. Last game with them was unfortunate, but I think this team is prepared for all of it, and we're just going to go out there, and next time we're going to get it.
Do you feel confident? You beat RKC Third Coast 7-0. Now you're going on the road to Racine to get another victory.
Yeah, super confident. I mean, I have trust in this team. I have trust in the coaching staff, and we all have fun. We're all confident. We trust each other, so we just go out and do what we can, score as many goals as we can, keep as many out of the net as we can. But yeah.
3 matches and then the postseason. If you win 2 of them, you'll most likely get in.
Final thoughts about tonight's match as you get ready for the last 3 matches of the season.
I mean, just take one at a time. Like this was a good win. This was a good shutout. But next one, focus again. Everything's in the past. Like after this, and then we just go one by one, and we get wins, shutouts from on.
That's Lauren Kaiser, and that does it for our post-game show. So for our excellent crew, for Austin Wright, Nathan Keogh, Rafael Gonzalez, Grant Harrison, I'm Kyle Smith, and we'll see you next time on SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.